Imagine standing on an ancient wall that stretches farther than the eye can see, walking through gates once reserved for emperors, or watching chefs create dishes that have been perfected over centuries. That's just the beginning of what China has to offer. Welcome to Hidden Travel. In today's video, we're going to explore a country that feels like a journey through time. From the Great Wall and the Forbidden City to vibrant markets and breathtaking natural landscapes, China is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. We'll visit iconic landmarks, dive into stories from thousands of years ago, and share tips to make your trip one to remember. Let's get started. Beijing is the heart of China, and it's a place where history and modern life come together in fascinating ways. It's not just the capital, it's a city filled with stories, traditions, and unforgettable sights. Let's start with the Forbidden City. This massive palace complex was built over 600 years ago and was home to China's emperors for centuries. As you walk through its towering gates and explore the courtyards and ornate buildings, it feels like stepping back into a time when emperors ruled the land. You can almost imagine the ceremonies and decisions that shaped China's history happening right where you stand. Just outside the Forbidden City is Tiananmen Square, a place that holds a lot of meaning for the Chinese people. It's surrounded by important landmarks like the National Museum of China and the Mausoleum of Mao Zedong. Another must-see is the Temple of Heaven. It's not just a beautiful sight, it's a place full of purpose. This is where emperors would go to pray for good harvests. The architecture is incredibly detailed, and every part of it has meaning, from the circular design to the colors used. If you visit in the morning, you might even catch locals practicing Tai Chi or flying kites in the surrounding park. These are the narrow alleys that weave through the older parts of the city. They're filled with little shops, homes, and people going about their day. It's a chance to see a side of Beijing that's personal and grounded, and maybe even try some local snacks along the way. Beijing is more than its landmarks. It's a city full of contrasts and connections to the past. Xi'an is often called the starting point of the Silk Road, and when you visit, you can see why. It's a city where ancient history is right there in front of you, but it's also alive with the energy of a modern, growing place. The Terracotta Army is what draws most people to Xi'an, and for good reason. These life-sized clay soldiers were discovered in 1974, buried near the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. What's amazing is that every soldier is unique. Different faces, hairstyles, and even armor details. Standing in front of them, you can't help but think about the sheer ambition it took to create such a massive, detailed project over 2,000 years ago. Another highlight is Xi'an's city wall. Unlike many ancient city walls that have crumbled over time, Xi'an's wall is incredibly well preserved. You may decide to rent a bike and ride along the top, taking in the amazing view of both the old city within and the newer developments outside. It's a fun and active way to get a sense of the city's layout and history at the same time. If you have time, visit the Big Wild Goose Pagoda. This Buddhist landmark has stood here since the Tang Dynasty, and it's a peaceful spot to reflect on the city's long history. The Great Wall of China isn't just a landmark. It's an experience that stays with you long after you've climbed its steps. Stretching over 13,000 miles, it's one of the most remarkable structures ever built, and standing on it, you can't help but think about the centuries of history it has witnessed. There are various sections of the wall you may visit, but one of the best for a first-timer is Mutianyu. It's less crowded than some of the more famous spots, which means you'll have more space to take it all in. This part of the wall is well preserved and even has a cable car if you'd rather save your energy for walking along the top. The views are incredible. You can see watchtowers dotting the hills in the distance, and the steep climbs make you appreciate just how much hard work went into building this wall by hand. Imagine the soldiers stationed here, watching over the landscape for signs of invaders. It's hard not to feel connected to the history of the place. One of the best parts of visiting the Great Wall is the chance to walk along it at your own pace. You can take your time exploring the towers, snapping photos, or just sitting for a moment to enjoy the quiet. The Great Wall is more than just a wonder of the world. It's a place where you can feel the scale of human ambition and the passage of time. Shanghai is a city like no other. It's where you can walk past century-old buildings in the morning and watch futuristic skyscrapers light up the skyline at night. It's a place that constantly evolves while still holding on to its rich history. Start your visit with a stroll along the Bund. This waterfront area gives you a front-row seat to Shanghai's unique blend of architecture. On one side, you'll see historic buildings that date back to the city's days as an international trading hub. On the other side, across the Huangpu River, are the shiny, modern towers of the Pudong district. The contrast is incredible. For a closer look at that modern skyline, head to Lujiazui in Pudong. Here, you can visit some of the tallest buildings in the world. The Shanghai Tower, with its twisting design, offers an observation deck that gives you a bird's-eye view of the entire city. Shanghai is known for its xiaolongbao, or soup dumplings, which are little pockets of savory broth and meat. You can find them everywhere, from street vendors to high-end restaurants. Be sure to try other local dishes too, like braised pork or scallion pancakes. Yunnan, located in southwestern China, is well known for its incredible mix of cultures, landscapes, and traditions. It's a place where you can explore everything from snow-capped mountains to ancient villages, and it feels like every corner has a story to tell. One of the highlights of Yunnan is Lijiang Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that takes you back in time. The town's cobblestone streets, wooden buildings, and winding canals create a setting that feels straight out of history. It's not just about how it looks, though. It's about the way life flows here. Walking through Lijiang feels like you're part of a living museum. A must-see in the Old Town is the Square Market, where you can find handmade crafts, local snacks, and even performances of traditional Naxi music. Just outside the Old Town, the Black Dragon Pool Park offers stunning views of the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. On a clear day, the mountain reflects in the still waters of the pool, making it a great spot for photos. The park is also home to several small temples and pavilions, giving you a chance to explore the spiritual side of Yunnan. For an unforgettable day trip, head to Tiger Leaping Gorge. This gorge is one of the deepest river gorges in the world. The trail here offers dramatic views of the rushing river below and the towering cliffs above. It's a challenging hike in parts, but the experience of standing in such a powerful landscape is well worth the effort. Another gem in Yunnan is Shangri-La, a town that feels like it's on the edge of the world. Known for its Tibetan influence, Shangri-La is where you'll find stunning monasteries, high-altitude grasslands, and warm hospitality. Hong Kong is a city of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern innovation, and the energy of the streets feels like nowhere else in the world. From its towering skyline to its vibrant neighborhoods, every part of Hong Kong tells a different story. Start your visit at Victoria Peak, the highest point on Hong Kong Island. Take the Peak Tram, a historic cable car, where you'll find sweeping views of the city. Surrounding islands. The observation deck gives you a sense of just how dense and dynamic Hong Kong is, especially at sunset. Head to Mong Kok to experience the heart of Hong Kong's markets. The Ladies' Market is perfect for browsing souvenirs, while the nearby Goldfish Market and Flower Market offer a glimpse into the city's unique local culture. Take a short ferry ride to Lantau Island, where you can visit the Tiantan Buddha, a massive bronze statue perched high in the hills. Finally, don't miss the nightly Symphony of Lights show in Victoria Harbour. This coordinated display of lights and music involves buildings on both sides of the water, and it's a fantastic way to wrap up your day in the city. Tibet is often called the roof of the world, and visiting it feels like entering a completely different realm. It is important to note that Tibet doesn't accept private travelers. You will have to contact a local registered travel agency to book a tour. The landscapes here are vast and otherworldly, and the culture is deeply spiritual, shaped by centuries of Tibetan Buddhism. It's a destination that offers a sense of connection to history, to nature, and to something greater. The journey usually starts in Lhasa, the capital and the heart of Tibetan culture. One of the first places you'll want to visit is the Potala Palace, an iconic symbol of Tibet. This towering structure was once the winter residence of the Dalai Lama and is filled with ornate rooms, ancient murals, and countless relics. Another must-visit is Jokhang Temple, considered the most sacred temple in Tibet. Outside, you'll see pilgrims making their way around the temple in a clockwise direction, spinning prayer wheels and bowing in devotion. Tibet's landscapes are just as extraordinary as its culture. If you have the chance, take a drive to Yamdrok Lake, a shimmering turquoise lake surrounded by snow-capped mountains. The journey there offers plenty of stops to take in the dramatic scenery, including high mountain passes adorned with colorful prayer flags. For those looking for adventure, Tibet is also the gateway to Mount Everest's North Base Camp. Shadowing of the world's highest peak is an experience that's hard to put into words. Even if you're not a climber, just being in the presence of Everest, surrounded by the rugged terrain of the Himalayas, is unforgettable.